Hey, welcome back to our second mini craft collab. That's me and Joan over at Joan's Pointed Plate. Be sure and go watch her after you get through with me, because you're going to want to see what I did and what she did. We take the same item or items from the Dollar Tree and put our own spin on it. And it's cool to see how she interprets things and how I interpret things. And we're as different as night and day, and we're the same as two peas in a pod. So I'm going to cut this short. We'll get started because I'm afraid it might be a long video. I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you. We're really getting into the crafts. Oops, I heard something. We're really getting into the crafts lately, and I think it's a nice change of pace. So anyway, let's just turn around and get started. So what we're going to use for this is any of the square signs that they have at the Dollar Tree. And it doesn't matter what they say, because we're gonna change it. So let's take off the save your little rope, because you never know, you might need just a little bitty piece. And then we also are using the metal words. They come 3 to a pack. There is, if I can get a hold of it, thankful, which is the one I'm using, welcome, and harvest. I'm thinking I'm going to use thankful, but now that when I get it together, I'll decide if I'm going to use harvest or if I'm going to use thankful. So just let me set those aside. The first thing I want to do is show you a little trick that I saw on a YouTube video. Before she covered up her words, because they're raised with glitter, so you can get a relief drawing of it, she took a pencil, and I've just got some bunch of old colored pencils I thought might be a little bit easier. Just rub over it. Remember how we used to do rubbings of leaves and all those kind of things? Now here I have a relief, the thing, and whatever I'm going to put this on, I can just take I'm not going to do it right now. I can take my pencil, trace all around it, and then it should leave an indentation. You can go back and paint it, color it with a marker, whatever. So just do that on every one of them that you have. You can use it together as a saying. You can use friends by itself, gather here, however you want to do it. So I just thought I would share that to you, since it's something I learned new. Now I'm just going to spray paint both sides. May or may not, I'm going to use this side, but I'm going to just spray paint this to kill the glitter. I've not decided if I'm going to paint this a certain way or Mod Podge a piece of scrapbook paper on it. I'll let you know after I get it all spray painted. Okay, so I painted that so it is covered. You don't have to cover it where you can't see it. It just covers up the glitter. And I just hit this side because I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint it and kind of do something with that, or if I'm going to use paper. But I thought maybe just a little layer of spray paint might help the other paint. Maybe not need 2 coats, but I'm opting to use paper because I'm wanting this to look like an old barn. Not an old red barn, just maybe an old building out in the woods. You know how those abandoned buildings, I think I want small and big. Okay, old abandoned buildings out in the woods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and get everything. Well, I can't see white on white. Get everything ready to paint. So I'm going to go ahead because I want this. I want to see this because I'm going to make a fence. So hold on. Okay, now I will Mod Podge this on. So that's going to be the side of my old building. Now I want to use these popsicle sticks. I know they sell regular popsicle sticks at the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure about these jumbo ones. I got these from Kyle, Holly's boyfriend. So I want to see. I don't want them that tall because I don't want it half and half. So I want it down. Now what I'm going to do is I have my old cutting board because, oh, this thing is so heavy. This came from a thrift store umpteen years ago, and I don't use it, but I couldn't bear to get rid of it, so it came in handy. But I didn't want to cut up my little cutting mat because I'm going to use my box cutter here. Got all of our fence posts cut. I just want to show you my little block I made. If you didn't see my last video, this is just a Dollar Tree Rubik's Cube, their version, and I just put little hot glued little squares of different grit sandpaper. So I've already sanded. You can just see, you don't have to get real. Just knock the edges off. Now, and I cut the two cross members in the back. But what I want to do to get sure, you can see one of them kind of split, but I think that'll end to the, we'll just put it off to the side. I want to make sure that I have these even. I don't want a crooked fence. So I'm going to glue it from the back. Is our little owl. We're going to set him on the fence, but we need to fill his little hole. Okay, now let's take everything to the other side and we'll start painting and Mod Podging. And then it's just a matter of letting everything dry and putting it together. We're going to do the Mod Podge first because it'll take the longest to dry. And y'all have seen me do this pretty much every single craft I've done. So there are some bubbles and some wrinkles in this one. Must not have got enough on it. I don't know, but I'm gonna set this. We'll work around it. It is not that big a deal. Now we're going to paint this in the plaster color, and then I'm going to distress it so it looks like it's aged. This I want. I thought about Mod Podging it, but then I'm like, no, I think I will just paint it because I think that'll make more of an impact on the piece instead of putting a different pattern on it, which I'm not opposed to mixing patterns. Believe me. I just thought on this piece it might make a little bit more of an impact. Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, these are from Joan. This is one of my surprise packages, little packs of owls, because if you know anything about me, you know that there are 2 things I like. 3 if you count coffee. That is owls and witches. Okay, so I want to distress my fence. I want it to look like it's been out there a while. Just get you a little bit of paint and come over here. Wipe most of it off with just one dry brush. Okay, I want to do a little something to my owl. I'm not really sure. I don't want to distress him. I just want to give him a little something. So this one I'm just going to use my brown. I think it is truffle. And I just want to... everything gets good and dry, we'll meet back on the other side. Now what we need to do is take just a piece of foam core. This is the big sheets that you get at the Dollar Tree. And I want to make this stand up. I need to put some florals behind it, so I need to raise it up a little bit. So we will cut some skinny little pieces. You can use scissors, but it leaves it like that. See, that's where it's cut off with scissors. It leaves it jagged, and I don't really want any of it showing through. So, X-Acto knife to the rescue. Let's see which way we're going to go with our bubble. Can you see in the light? There's a bubble there and a big bubble there. And I'm thinking we'll have the big bubble up here. And, oh, I got to put some stuff behind him too. Just about forgot. Yeah, I'll just go with that one. Yeah. Listen. I ain't on no bit of homes and gardens, that is for sure. Okay, I have fished some of these out because if you notice, these are on 2 popsicle sticks, the height of 2 popsicle sticks, and I want this to be even. I don't want it to like lean. So we will take two, put one there, probably be good enough. Let's get ready to glue this down and hope that we get it straight. Now I think we will work with the florals before we put him to make sure which we want him on. So let's just set him aside. Now these are the ones that I had decided on. And these are just from the Dollar Tree. I just have a bunch that I bought. If y'all saw my haul, you saw that I just bought, oh here we go, a bunch, not knowing what I was going to do with them. This one had, I think this is the one that had the cattails, and I pulled them off working with something else, but I definitely wanted to save the leaves, so I think that muted green will go well with this. This is called Bittersweet. Now this is the part that I'm not good at, is floral arranging. This is one of two parts that I am not good, and that is floral arranging and bow making. So if this even turns out halfway presentable, it will be a miracle. Now I've got to decide how I want these. This is an experiment. I may or may not like this. I want to put some greenery down in the bottom. I have reindeer moss and then I have floral moss, and both of these came from the Dollar Tree. And they are going to make a mess. I can tell you right now. Okay, now comes the part where I've got to decide on my word. Kind of doesn't show up, but maybe in the light. I don't know. I'm thinking thankful over, I don't know. Harvest? I think harvest maybe needs to go with something with some pumpkins. So I'm going to go with thankful. And probably what I'm going to do, I maybe should have done it before I put the moss in there, hindsight. So I have this floral wire. It's from Ben Franklin for $1.29. Ben Franklin has been gone for, I don't even know how many years. So what I'm going to try to do, there's no way that is going to glue down the way it should. So since I didn't have the forethought to do this, I'm going to do this now and maybe get somewhere. We shall see. If we don't, well, we'll What? Back up and punt. Here comes the other part I'm not good at. That is bows. I know for a fact I'm using this ribbon somehow. Look at that. Joan found that for me. It was what everybody calls a unicorn. When you only find one at the Dollar Tree, you don't find another one. It was not even in the place where ribbons were, she says. She just looked over and saw it. She grabbed it. So I'm definitely using this ribbon on here. You know what I think I'll do first? I think I will put my hanging rope first. Okay, I decided one thing. This is just the mesh rope, and that comes in different colors. This just looks like jute, but it's mesh rope from the Dollar Tree. I didn't want to put it all the way around. I have a sign that I made that put it all the way around, but I think it's going to be too busy for this. But I think it will finish off the bottom nicely. Like maybe it's dirt or something, you know. But I think it will finish off that bottom. So I'm going to do that before we do the other. Now I have orange ribbon, and then I have this. I was going to try to put it together, but that's way too much bow for this. So I'm going to try to do something simple. Understated, because this is so understated. I wouldn't know understated if it bit me in the hide end. I'm not good at this. I'm here to tell you right now. Else fails, do the simplest thing you know how to do. It's understated. It adds a little something to that corner. It's color, but it's not all. Oh. I wanted to use more of my owl ribbon, but I'll get my chance. So there's my take on it. Let's go in there and hang it up and see how it looks on the wall. Okay, so here is the final project. I think you can see thankful, maybe good enough. Those little owls Joan gave me too. I just needed a few little things to round out the area. So tell me what you think.